Good morning, Thomas. How are you?
Good morning, fine. You?
Okay, I'm all right. Oh, something appeared here. Okay, I understand you had your class on Friday, right? Because I saw that there was attendance taken.
Yes.
Okay, what did you do? Because I haven't got any records on what you've been doing or what you did on that class.
A little presentation of us
I see. All right, okay.
and read some texts and answers the questions.
Okay,
No
fantastic.
more.
All right, all right. I thought that you had continued with the material, but no, they have used extra material. Okay, how are you
Yes.
today?
Fine.
Okay, what's your
Fine.
day
Fine.
ahead?
Is full of meetings. Today
Ah,
again is full of meetings.
okay. And what do they have to deal with? What do these meetings
Uh,
have to deal with?
the synchronize for the team first, and then I
The
think is a meet for all the group in my sector
in your sector. Okay,
for
we speak of the synchronization. Yes, you need to synchronize. The verb is to synchronize, but then you say the synchronization of all our work, for example. Yeah,
yes.
I
Okay.
see. All
Yes.
right. So that means that you will be able to do little work.
Yes.
Okay. And how well are you developing your project? Are you, ahead of the planning or are you falling behind?
Behind I with the work in little works to the main project, and other co-workers is working
Are
in the head of project, doing the definitions. They have more meetings than me,
really?
so I
I
think
see.
is yes.
And which stage of
Uh,
the project are you at? Are you at the beginning, in the middle, towards the end?
mm, I
Supposedly?
suppose in the end,
Ah,
say
okay.
in the end, but
Nice.
but missing several definitions today. So for August, I suppose is the finish
It's the
of
end.
the developing of is the
Yes.
end the developing project, but the launch of the satellite is in 1 year.
In a year's time. I see. Okay. So it's the end of the development.
Yes, in August I need to present the final versions supposedly
Supposedly, I see.
and supposedly. So I think is not digamos, no
You can say,
don't
let's say, yes, en lugar de
let's
digamos,
say
let's
yeah.
say, yeah.
So but in the test I suppose I need to change something is not working because everything isn't perfect.
Not
So
not everything is perfect. Not
exactly,
everything
not
is
everything.
perfect. I get, okay, I see, I
Exactly.
see. How complex, right? It becomes
Yes,
really
yes,
complex.
yes.
And probably you are under a lot of stress too.
No,
Not so
but
much.
me not.
Not me.
My others, my boss or my no isn't boss is technical leader
So
leadership
he isn't my
technical.
boss, I think.
Yes, he is with the most preocupación. I don't know
Worries,
who say
worries
that.
or concerns.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can say he's
exactly.
the one who has the greatest concerns. I see. Okay. And are you an efficient team? Do you feel that everybody works
Yes,
efficiently? I see. Okay. Well,
yes,
then,
yes.
hi, Matthews. How are you?
Hi, fine. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, so let's start with our class. See, I'm going to share my screen. Remember that the other day we got up to tip number 5 from the 14 proven ways to improve your communication skills.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, could you go over the vocabulary in our Jamboard? Did you go back to these words that we took from these tips? No. I take that for a no. All right, okay. I would advise you to try and at least give a revision to everything we see every class and every day, because by the end of the project, you will have to make a presentation integrating everything. So don't don't neglect it, because it takes a long time to keep these words. So if you can every day, just glance at the words, yes, just give a quick look at the words so that you can keep on refreshing them day after day. And in this way, you will reach the end of the project in a wonderful condition, because indefinitely you are going to be integrating these words. And by then, they will be part of your repertoire. Yes, don't leave it until the very end, because it's going to be maddening. And probably you will delay the presentation as well. So that's my tip for you. If you can't every day, at least every other day, so that you can even, I don't know, go back to what we have discussed in class. And if there are any doubts, we can go over that. I still owe you Lie to Me, because I wasn't in the mood of watching anything. So I will have to, whenever I have it ready, I will let you know. So, okay. In the end, my mom died on Thursday. So,
Sorry.
yeah. So, yes, she was in a very serious situation. And finally, well, she passed. Well, okay. So here we have tip number 6. Yes. Sorry. From these first 5 tips, did anyone make the presentation on any of these? Did you take any of these to work on?
No.
Any commercials?
I
No? Matias?
No.
Not either. Okay, that's okay. So then let's go on with number 5. No, 6. Here.
6.
Okay, who would like to read?
I read.
Okay, let's
I read.
let's see. Let's take first the headline. Yes, and I would like you to speculate about what the text will say,
Okay.
as if you were the writers, or as if you had been the writers of this tip. Yes, what would you say about this?
I say it's very important to start and end with key points, because it's the minor of the presentation. I
It's
think it's
it's a minor.
it's the major of the presentation.
The major, that's an adjective. The major objective, for example, you can say it's
Yes.
the
Okay.
major,
Major of,
major. This is major, because mayor
okay.
is alcalde, yes, and this is major. It's the major, the
Major.
main, for example, the principal, major. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay, right?
Mhm.
Now you said it's important.
And
Yes.
it's important to show to the audience the key point of the presentation.
The key, okay, the key
The
point.
key point of the presentation for them to be able to keep their focus and the focus and the interesting
And their interest. Yes.
interest.
And
It's important for this. It's important to repeat the key point.
the key points.
The key point.
All right, marvelous. Now you say it's important. How else can you say it's important instead of saying it's important? And a synonym for important. Let's see. You say it's important. You can say it's crucial. It's key.
Crucial.
Yes, it's vital, right? These are other ways of saying it's important. Yes, it's crucial, it's key, it's vital. Yes, so that you don't go over and over the same adjective. Yes, and you can have more resources in terms of this. Yes. All right. So this is another thing that we can work on here. Well, yes, it helps the audience get feel or keep focused. And I don't know, keep on thinking around the same topic. So let's see what we have to read here. Who would like to read?
Me, I read.
Okay.
Start and end with key points. Think back.
Okay, aquí. Cave quiere decir callos, como Key Biscayne, yes, los callos de Florida, yes, those are but this is key. Y se escribe con A.
Key,
Yes,
okay.
key, yes.
Key.
No, no
Think
callos de
back
los
to
pies,
the-
esos son corn.
Yes,
Because I
yes,
saw
yes.
your face as you said, corn. Yeah, no, here.
Think back to the tappers and the listeners. Student mentioned early.
Okay, be
Clear
careful. Be
communication
careful
is
on the intonation pattern that you're giving to this sentence, because study is the main,
Sí.
is the head of this phrase. So think back to the
tappers and the listening study
yeah, there
mentioned earlier.
mentioned earlier.
Earlier. Okay. Clear communication is of paramount importance.
Important.
To ensure that the audience understands the key takeaways from a presentation, reiterate key points at the start and finish.
What do you understand by
can-
key takeaways? What are takeaways? When do we speak about takeaways? So it says to ensure that the audience understands the key takeaways from a presentation, reiterate key points at the start and finish.
Yes.
The conclusion or similar.
Well, yes, in this
Yes.
context, it could be paraphrased as that. Takeaway is normally associated with food that you buy at a store and then you eat it at home. So here,
Yes.
these are your
Yes.
takeaways from the meeting. Yes, the key points that you will take back to keep on thinking about.
Okay.
Okay. This can also be accomplished by providing attendees with a one pager that includes key points the audience should be considered throughout the presentation. Consider,
yes. So we are talking about
okay.
these takeaways. Let's see, how can you paraphrase the last sentence? That this can also be accomplished by providing attendees with a one-pager that includes key points the audience should consider throughout the presentation. So what are they saying there? What can be accomplished? What is to accomplish something? Do you know that word? No, it's to be able to reach an objective. Yes, for example, you believe that the launching of the satellite will be accomplished in a year's time. Yes, you have the expression mission accomplished. Yes, yeah, you have mission accomplished.
Yes.
All right, okay. So this can also be accomplished. What is this? What are they referring to by this?
The attendees, I'm sorry. in one page include the key point, the key point, the important key point that resume,
That summarize, yes.
summarize the presentation.
Perfect, yes. So, and this is this question of being able to have these takeaways, right? Okay, you will be ensuring that people will have these takeaways by giving them in one page everything summarized. Yes, this is replacing all these previous sentence. Yes, okay, okie dokie.
Okay.
So, okay, from the discourse and analysis point of view, that this is said to have an aphoric reference because it is resignified. Its meaning can be achieved or can be let's see, interpreted by reading back all these. Yes, this is replacing the concept that has just been expressed. Yes, to ensure that the audience understands the key takeaways from the presentations, reiterate points at the start and finish. So this, the question of ensuring that, can be also accomplished by giving them a summary of the meeting. Okay, so now we
Okay.
have, all right, it says, a common use the PIP approach. What do you understand by PIP approach? Let's see.
What mean PIP?
That's what I'm asking you. Any speculation about it? Well, let's see. Let's go on. All right. So, Matthew, can you read the
Yes, a common framework used by business experts like those at McKinsey,
Mac?
uh,
Yes.
McKinsey, is the purpose, importance, review, approach to presentation introduction. Following this approach, the speaker first states the purpose of the presentation and then shares why presentation is important by reviewing application of the possible outcomes,
Implications, yes.
implication, and possible outcomes.
Okay. So, how can you say it in a different way? How can you paraphrase all this?
The key point, the more important key point is when you start the presentation.
Okay. Yes. Yes, in
Uh,
a way, right. Yeah, because, well, you are implementing this framework. Yes, the purpose, importance, review, approach. Yes. Let's see. And here, what do we mean by outcomes? By reviewing implications and possible outcomes.
I think it's topics related with the presentation. For example, when you speak for a car, I think is talking about the velocity of the car. Someone can ask a question for the aerodynamic of the car or something related to that, but not the main topic of the presentation. So
Well,
possible outcomes
okay.
for me is the possibility of, for some topic, someone tried to
Okay, I understand your,
correct.
yes, to move the focus. Yes, well, not
Yes.
exactly. Yes, not exactly. Outcomes means results. Yes, the outcome.
Okay.
So, for example, now your boss wants to, I don't know, get, or wants to be sure that the outcome of the project will be successful. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
it's all right, but because here it says, let me see, it says, following this approach, the speaker first states the purpose of the presentation and then shares why presentation is important by reviewing implications of this presentation and possible outcomes, the possible results. Yes. Yeah, there, I guess that you can refer to that as spin-offs. Yes, like usually associated with the movie and movie theater world. Like you have one main series and from there you have a spin-off. Yes, so you also refer to spin-offs from a topic. Yes, like
Okay.
the conversation gets diverted in a different direction. Yes, and you miss the focus. All right. So, and that could be a spin-off. Well, okay. And then we have one last paragraph within this tip.
Finally, the presenter gives a preview of the topic that will be discussed.
Discussed. Yes.
This framework is a useful way to get audience excited about the presentation, helping them to focus
Yes.
focus on your messages and on key message and on key takeaways.
Okay, so the presenter gives a preview of the topics that will be discussed. Yes, this framework is a useful. Yes, a helpful, useful way to get audience excited about the presentation, helping them to focus on your message. Message. You remember the police message in a bottle? I know you very old song, right? And but you can listen to that, and he will repeat message endlessly, so you will get the proper pronunciation and on key takeaways. Okay. 2 minutes for you to write down words that you consider relevant from 6 and 7 in your Jamboard.
Okay. The only word?
Yeah, or phrases, whatever you feel is helpful.
Okay.
Yes, you are the owner of what you need to select here. Yes, you make the decision.
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I would
Because
like you to select from here words that you want to keep, yes, in your Jamboard, so that you can go back and refresh later on by going over them. Here, for example, once again, instead of saying it's important, you can say it's of paramount importance. You see? And that sounds more native, like when you have to make a presentation. Yes. Maybe if you go to an interview, you can say, for me, it's of paramount importance that I can work with a friendly group of workers and, I don't know, a kind laboral environment. Ready?
I searched the chamber. Sorry.
Sorry. No, then I'll share the link.
No, I find.
Have you found it already?
Yes.
Matthews, do you have it there?
Yes. I'm writing.
I'm sorry, I'll go back to the article. Mm. Mm.
Ready for me.
All right,
Okay.
okay. And Matthews?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let's see here outcomes. Okay, fine. And which is the other one? I can hardly see it. Maybe
Clear,
here.
clear
I'm writing-
communication.
Pardon me. Clear communication is of paramount importance. Okay, fine. Can you use the word outcomes framework? All right. And can you integrate everything, for example, in a tip that you could use? Or maybe just an example about something. Or if you want to summarize the tips that we have just read. What about the word framework? How was it used?
It's important to the framework the presentation.
Okay,
Uh,
so maybe you can say it's of paramount importance that the framework of the presentation. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Okay. The framework of the presentation. All right, fine. And for example, during the presentation, what do you also, or what can you also refer to?
the start with the key point, the more key point.
Okay, the key points. Yes.
The key point that you consider more important.
Yes. Having in mind possible outcomes. Yes, like your key points will be also related to the possible outcomes that you will have in this project. Yes. Well, all right. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard, this kind of thing, but well, maybe sometimes the many more mistakes you make, the better it is, because in that way you get focused. Yes, so don't worry about maybe not saying the proper thing, because well, by doing that you're going to learn more than if you say it correctly.
Okay.
Number 8, it says record important presentations for posterity.
Okay.
Did you take this one? Yes. What did you say about this one? Did you take this one, Matthew?
Yes, it is important to record in the class because in the future we can improve the class. And we can also see it at any time.
Definitely.
The class.
Right. Yes. And maybe the class, the presentation, yes, and make adjustments based on what you have seen. Well, okay. Thomas, do you want to read it, please?
Okay. It can record important presentation for posterity. It can take a good deal of time and energy to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
In case where you might need to give the same presentation multiple times, consider
Yeah.
recording it and sharing it in the future.
Okay, so here the approach was different so far. I don't know what it's going to say later, but here it's for reiteration. Yes, if I need to make the same
Okay.
presentation, I already have the material. Now, here, key point. It can take a good deal. Yes, it can take a lot, means this, right? A good deal of time, for example, a good deal of money, yes, a good deal of patience, yes. Learning a language implies a good deal of patience, yes, or a good deal of work, right? So this is meaning a lot, yes. Time and energy to communicate effectively. In cases where you may need to give the same presentation multiple times, and then the collocation is to give a presentation. Consider something, consider doing something, yes. Consider revising your vocabulary. I don't know, consider, I don't know, maybe recording yourselves, yes, and sharing it in the future. Well, then here, platforms.
Platforms such as Wistia and Zoom allows the speakers to record themselves delivering a presentation. Delivering a presentation.
But
This
here,
yes,
yeah, let me just, it says platforms, not platforms, but platforms. And what
platforms.
is to
Okay.
allow?
I know how say in English, but it's permitir.
Yes, to permit. Yes, you can say it in English too. Allow or
Okay.
permit speakers to record themselves. Delivering, yes, you can, sorry. To give or deliver a presentation. Yes, that's another collocation that you can have. To deliver a class, to deliver a presentation. Yes.
These video recording platforms allow presenters to edit the video to make it more engaging and helpful.
What is engaging?
Helpful.
Helpful, right. Helpful.
Engaging is atrapante. I don't
Okay,
say.
all right. Yes, okay. You feel more committed, yes, to
Yes.
work on this, right? So you say engaging and helpful. Yes, okay.
They also provide admins with metrics about viewer engagement.
Engagement. That is the noun for engage. Yes, engagement.
Yes. Record presentation can be especially helpful for communicators who need to regularly provide training in the company that is hiring employees quickly.
Okay, right. So you have one presentation recorded, and then whoever has to go through the onboarding process can be exposed to these videos without extra effort. Well, okay. Any words that you want to keep from here? Maybe deliver a presentation, allow somebody
Recording.
something. Yes, okay, recording. Helpful. Do you use the word helpful? Is helpful part of your repertoire?
Yes, not very common, but I use
Yes.
sometimes.
Use it, okay. Multiple times instead of several times or many times, yes, so that you can expand your vocabulary there. You speak of multiple times. Maybe the pronunciation in platform, which is a typical mistake to say platform, but we say platform, platforms. Okay, and remember employees always, yes, employer
Yes.
and employee. Okay, now here, number 9. Master, has anybody taken any of these tips to make a presentation?
Yes,
Which
me.
one?
Yes.
I took.
The one about
I took.
recording?
No, the master of the art of timing. I
Oh,
think
lovely.
it's the.
The next one. Okay, so
Yes.
can you show us your presentation? I'll stop sharing. So you show us your presentation and then we'll read about it.
Yes. Google.
There you go.
I search the presentation. Yes. Sorry, it's
Okay, don't
George.
worry. Is it cold down there?
Yes.
Yes.
Very. Here yesterday was very, very cold. And unfortunately, my wood burner has smokes or some, I mean, the smoke comes out of it through the pipe that drives the smoke out of the house. So I have to adjust that because yesterday I lit the fire, but I had to take the embers, las brasas, I had to take the embers out because we were getting suffocated by the smoke in here. Okay, good, lovely. Look at how beautiful the image that you picked.
Yes.
Quite iconic.
This presentation is with Andrea, but
Yes,
it's
I
not here.
remember. Yes,
I took 3 points. One of them is master of the art of timing,
good.
and the others is via listening, and I think is the 40 14. I don't know who's. I
Okay,
don't
14.
remember.
Okay.
14.
All right.
I think.
14. Oh, okay.
Is the 14th item is done. Is this get to know
your
your
audience. Yeah. What for? Why do you think we need to get to know our audience?
to for when I discuss with Andrea, I think to the conclusion is the slang,
The jargon. The jargon.
the jargon, the
Yes.
jargon with the audience, and and the topic of the presentation is interesante. I know how to say that.
Interesting.
Interesting for them.
Okay. Yeah, when you speak of the jargon, this can also refer to us to be able to pitch your speech in the proper way. To pitch means that you adapt your speech to your audience. For example, when you are having a meeting with engineers, you can use your jargon without any problem. So you are pitching the level of your conversation according to your audience. Now, when you are speaking with people from the commercial area, maybe there are certain things that they won't get. So you have to adapt your jargon. You have to pitch your jargon to their vocabulary. Yes. And the same thing happens if you're talking to, I don't know, maybe little children, teenagers. Yes. Depending on who you're talking to, you need to pitch your speech. Yes. Or your message. Okay, fine. So here it was Master the Art of Timing. Any, Matthews, have you also taken this one?
Excuse me?
Have you also picked this item, this tip?
Yes, Master of the Art of Timing.
Okay, and what about your presentation this time?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I have a new office partner.
All right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Yes, I know.
I didn't.
I didn't the presentation, but I writing with Maxi the more the key points.
Yes. Do you have that?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see that one. I wrote with Maxi, you say. I wrote down with Maxi the key points. Yes. Or maybe I took down notes. Yes. I took down notes on the key points of what Master the Art of Timing meant.
Okay. The Master of the Art of Timing. It's very important to, above all, knowing when is the right moment to pause or change the subject, so that the audience doesn't get bored.
Fine, great, lovely. All right. let's see, what does it say? This will stop our screen sharing. Do you want to continue? Oh, yes. Okay. So, all right, I can share mine and then it stops your sharing. Well, so here, let's see, master the art of timing. It is here. Who wants, I think it's your turn, Matthews, right?
Yes, yes. Master the art of timing.
Mhm.
While some of their jokes might not be appropriate for the workplace, stand-up comedians are certainly effective communicators. Comedians include Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are able to host compelling 90-minute comedy shows, in part because they have mastered the art of timing. Great comedians, like all great communicators, are be able to fill out their audience to determine when to move on to a new topic or when to reiterate an idea.
An idea.
Reiterate an idea.
Okay, so to feel, yes, to keep the pulse of your meeting. Yes, when you
Yes.
feel that the interest has lagged, you say, well, you need to change the topic, right? Okay, fantastic. Any words that you want to highlight here?
Compelling for me.
Okay, all right. Okay, so write it down in your Jamboard.
Yes.
In part because they have mastered the art of timing. Great comedians, like all great communicators, are able to feel out their audience to determine when to move on to a new topic and when to reiterate an idea. Okay, what do you understand by compelling there in that phrase?
I think it's convenient. I don't know who is convenient, but
Normally, compelling has to do with something that you need to deliver, something that is a must to be achieved or to be done, right? For example, you have, I don't know, compelling documentation to submit. And in this case, well, I guess that they mean that they have to carry on for 90 minutes delivering a show. However, they have the chance of knowing how to master the timing of that show. Yes, they deliver this whatever they need to talk about for 90 minutes, and they have to do it for 90 minutes. So that's why they speak of something which is compelling, a compelling 90-minute comedy show. It cannot be any shorter than that, or it cannot be any longer than that. Yes. Then, number 10. Get comfortable speaking extemporaneously. Yes. Okay. This is the way. Do you remember when you read about this, what it is about?
I read, but I don't understand what is extemporary.
Extemporaneously. Okay. Let's see.
Yes.
Let's read again. It says, when lawyers present a case in front of the United States Supreme Court, they typically speak extemporaneously. That is to say, the lawyers write down a series of topics they intend to discuss, but they do not memorize what they would say word for word. This method of communicating allows the lawyers presenting a case to cover all of the necessary points, while giving them flexibility as to how to communicate based on the audience reaction or question. For example, in terms of a lawyer defending an accused, you can have, okay, for example, I don't know, the person wasn't in the place, or the other person was too aggressive. Yes, the one who is prosecuting his defender was too aggressive. So then maybe this lawyer can write down aggression, and then the guy will say, okay, but my client used to be the victim of constant aggression, so he develops the topic without
Okay.
having everything written down. It's like you have some cues. Yes, remember the word? Some cues for you to
Yeah.
then expand. And here it says, depending on how the audience reacts, you're going to take one way of developing the topic or another. Yes, so, well, okay.
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 Now we're on the same. I think is the know that the conjugation of the phrase used. I think it is that, but you say the cues. I think it's very common in presentation do that.
Definitely, right, yes, yeah. You get some key points that you need to deliver, and then you expand from there.
Exactly.
Okay, so here, business communicator.
I read. Business communicators should be considered adopting an extemporaneous speaking style. It takes practice, but it will allow for more natural communication and can help with audience engagement.
Engagement, yes. Well, maybe here they say they should consider, because I have seen that business people sometimes print out everything they have to say instead of
Yes.
having some cues. Remember last time we met, we said that. And that, I don't know, from my point of view, it strikes me as little preparation and also lack of confidence on the speaker. Because you have everything written there. For that matter, I can send the material, and people can read it or can read that on their own without having a presenter there. Okay. Well, 11.
Okay. This is the I pick.
This is the one you picked. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Yes. So get to know your audience. How can you put in your own words this tip before we start?
Use for me is know your audience for use typical to use typical jargon for the audience or for
To
if
do.
you to
When you want to
sorry.
refer to purpose, you use infinitive, yes, to achieve
Okay.
something, to work on that.
Okay. To to do jokes for the presentation of the
To
for
make a joke or to crack a joke. Make a joke.
to make a joke or something related with the presentation is very important to know the audience because to know if the people receive the joke good or
Well,
not.
yeah.
Well or not.
Yes, if it will cause the effect that you want the joke to have, yeah, and not to
Exactly.
spoil your presentation, imagine. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. And in your case, Matthews, what do you think about get to know your audience?
For me, I think it's important to know the audience, to know how to choose the method of the presentation. I think they choose different method for different people.
Do you have to deliver presentations often at your company?
Yes.
And when you talk about different methods, what different approaches do you implement depending on the audience you have? That's what different methods do you implement?
I don't know if the presentation management is more formal than other presentation.
Mm-hmm.
When the presentation is for other people, for example, to service,
Mm-hmm.
is more informal.
I see. Okay. And how do you state that level of formality? I mean, do you have your presentations there in the company live, or do you have
Yes.
do you have to deliver them remotely?
No, they're here.
There. Okay.
They're
Okay.
here in the company.
Okay, so then I understand what you mean. Okay, so get to know your audience. To communicate, who wants to read?
I
Whose
read
turn is it?
to communicate effectively. Effectively,
Effectively.
it's important to get to know your audience first. Each audience is different and will have different preference and cultural preferences and cultural norms that should be considered when communicating. A good way to understand the expectation is to ask member of the audience, for example, of good communicator within the organization.
Okay, is to ask members of the audience, for example. Okay, of good communicators within the organization. I see. Is there, because here it says that you should ask for examples of good communicators. Do you have within your company a clear example of a good communicator, for example? Is there someone that you say, yes, he's a crack about that. He's wonderful at the way
Yes.
he or she, yeah. And what do you think you should emulate from that person? Or what would you like to copy from that person, to emulate from that person?
No sé cómo sería la oratoria.
Oratory.
La oratoria cuando habla.
Oratory.
Oratory.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
The way he handles pauses, how he draws people to one point of interest. I see. Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, fine. Then add novelty to improve audience retention. Well, I read this one. It says, a recent study revealed that people generally retain more information when presented with novel as opposed to routine situations. To help audience members retain information, consider injecting some sort of novel event into a presentation. This might be something funny or something that simply catches people by surprise. Okay. This is true. Yes, the more impactful the stimulus is, the better it is for people to remember, for all of us to remember.
Yes.
Okay. Any words here that you believe are interesting to keep? Notice the use of retain information.
For me, novelty.
Novel, all right. Novelty, all right, okay. Yes.
I added to
the Jamboard, okay. It says, this might be funny, might remember it's a model of theory that says, okay, it's possible that, sorry, it might be something funny. It's possible that you can include something funny or something that simply catches people by surprise. Okay. Then focus on earning respect instead of laughs. Who wants to read this one?
I read. It can be tempting to communicate with others in a light-hearted way.
Light-hearted.
After
Light-hearted way.
Like
That means not
like
very solemnly, right? Yeah, so light-hearted way.
light-hearted way. After all, this can be a good way to make friends in professional settings. But remember that the most successful communicators are those who have earned respect rather than laughs.
Rather than laughs. Okay.
Rather than laughs. While telling
A
a
joke
joke or two to warm up an audience can be effective. Avoid ending a presentation with a laugh.
with a laugh. Yeah. Is there any
No.
problem with the vocabulary here?
No.
No? Is it okay, Matthew?
Yes.
Like hurt,
Light-hearted.
never.
You
Yes,
have never
never.
heard that.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
light-hearted means light. I mean, you're not talking about life there, but I mean, casual things. You are chit-chatting with people. Yes, so that would be to have a
okay.
light-hearted communication. Yes. Notice the collocation here, a professional setting. Normally we use the word environment, yes, like a laboral environment. Now here we have another way of saying it, yes, a professional setting. And the most successful communicators are those who have earned respect. This is nice. The expression to earn respect from your audience, yes, or from your peers, yes. Rather than loves, instead of, yes, and the pronunciation is rather than. You tell a joke, yes, or you make a joke, or you crack a joke, yes, that's another way of saying it. While telling a joke or two to warm up an audience can be avoid ending a presentation with a laugh. Now, and the last one. So number 14.
Be a listener. Listen more than you talk. This is what Richard Branson tells business people who want to connect with others. To communicate effectively, first listen to what others have to say. Then you can provide a fruitful answer that shows you have taken those ideas into account.
Okay. Do you consider yourself good listeners, or do you feel that you're always thinking something while people are talking to you?
No, be a listener.
Yeah, good. You are
Yes.
good listeners. Okay, fine. Here, listen more than you talk. This is the way to connect with others. You can repeat it. First, listen to what others have to say. You can provide a thoughtful answer. Yes, thoughtful way of doing something. Well, okay. My piece of homework for you to work on for next time is to prepare a Kahoot on this. Yes, can you prepare maybe a 5 question Kahoot? 5, or I mean, let's make it 6 so that you make 3 and 3 and you integrate that between the two of you. Would that be okay?
Okay.
Yes, is that all right? Yes, so you can
Five question.
6 because you can take 3 and 3. Yes, you organize
Okay.
yourself. It's not too demanding
Okay.
in terms
Okay.
of design, right? Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, so that we can go over once again the whole article. This will push you into reading the article again. And if there are any doubts, let me know during the course of the week so that I can maybe clarify something.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I'll see you on Friday then.
Okay. See you.
Bye. See you.
See you.
Okay, I
Bye-bye.
hope you have a great week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.